up, Whatty Nerdigans? This is the one and only Packer Girl 89, and today's hashtag anime nerdigan review is going to be for Natsume Yuujinchou Roku, aka Natsume and the Book of Friends, Season 6, Episode 2, title It Blooms Tomorrow. And before I get to this review, let me just briefly explain how I do my anime reviews, because they're just a wee bit different than the average anime YouTuber. So basically, while I'm watching the anime, I have the corresponding manga chapter right in front of me, because it's supposed to be a manga to anime adaptation. And if the anime is not matching the manga, I'm going to call it out. Whether it's scene changes, if scenes are cut, if dialogue's cut, yeah, just about everything I'll cut, with the exception of word changes, because if I was calling out every word change, we'd be here for an hour. The only thing in regards to like word changes that I might call out is if the context of the sentence itself is different from what the dialogue in the manga originally intended. Anyway, let's get to this review. So the bar is really raised high for this anime, because last week the anime matched the manga perfectly. It had every inner monologue, it matched it panel for panel, frame for frame. It was fucking perfect. Anyway, the chapter for this episode, or I should say the corresponding chapter for this episode, is chapter 75. And I will say this, let me start off with the beginning of this chapter. First of all, I don't have a problem with the fact that they don't include that ever since I was young, I would sometimes see weird things. Other people didn't seem to be able to see them, so they are probably what one would call yokai. That introduction is usually in the beginning of the majority of every chapter of this manga, and it was at the start of last episode. If it's not there, as long as it was at the start of the first episode of the season, I'm totally fine with it not being there for every episode. Something that, like, there was a little, let me get to the first missed line. It was just a teeny thing, which was when Natsume and his friends were talking about getting a burger, and one of his friends, it was a teeny little line, and it said, why do you guys want to eat meat while we're fishing, which was there, and this little line was skipped, which was they didn't bite because of that. And then I want to, this inner monologue from Natsume got cut, but the first part of it was worded really weird in the anime, and I just didn't like it. So I'm going to read what it said, the full thing of what it said in the manga, because I really, really liked it, and I want you nerdigans to hear it. So this is what it said in the manga. They're beautiful, but since I don't know their true nature, it's better not to come close. It's important that we don't run into each other. That, like, up to there, it was, the inner monologue was in the anime, but it was just worded weird. This next portion was completely cut from the anime. But what Ayakashi could it be? Was it a prank? An Ayakashi that draws flower-like pictures? And then we get to see our Ayakashi crew. Something that I did like that was added was the bull Ayakashi saying, give me more, you know, give me more sake. I did like that, because in the manga he goes, whoa, because he's hella drunk. I did like that. Something that, initially, you know what, it still kind of bothers me. I want to read the dialogue that's said here, that was skipped, but it was briefly mentioned in a different scene. But I'm gonna read it here. This is the dialogue that was skipped about the Stonewasher. Let me start off here. Here it is. Here's about the Stonewasher. They sometimes take dirty things like stones or rocks and sometimes even mountains and cleanse them. But if they go too far, their body becomes weak. And when they're unable to purify things, they become impure. Impure? To put it simply, they'll become unclean and hold grudges, jealousy, and curses. Well, humans can't see them, but it's like contaminated air. If they capture those things and can't purify them, they become impure beings. Those Ayakashi who can cleanse stones and rocks are called stonewashers. They become like what the Kappa said was like just a portion, or yeah, what the Kappa said in the anime was in the manga. I'm not gonna lie on that. This part was really not in the anime, and that kind of frustrated me. This next part. There's a legend that they originally lived in a pure and beautiful world like Eden, but after completing their training as a stonewasher, they leave that place and come here to travel around and purifying stones. Why was this not here? Because that's a big part of this chapter. They set out on journeys on a whim, and they wash stones on a whim. Even though they call it washing, they draw a spell on the stone with a brush. That it said that the drawing looks like a flower. That part was in, the stuff about looking like a flower that was in there. It seems that that having the purified stone float in sake will make it become even taste better. That was like briefly mentioned, but and then Natsume is thinking flower drawing. And this was not really mentioned either. But yes, a stone won't float. Was that how it goes? Anyway, there are not many stonewashers, so it's a rare omen of good luck. Right, so let's have a banquet. Give me the fish. Don't make a fuss. But Natsume was walking when he was thinking about a flower drawing, so it wasn't bad. But in the manga, he was actually sleeping. And then it goes on to say here, that's good, but all the more. And he's walking when he's saying this, but some of this was cut. I'm going to read this anyway. It's a bit regrettable that only I can see them, and thereafter, on Venkat, and this part was actually cut. No, actually, this part wasn't really cut. He's walking when he's thinking about this. On vacant land, on private property, on the large boulder behind the school, and so on. I saw that pattern. There's there's a portion in this manga, a little portion that's said in this chapter that says both Tanuma and Taki too, their eyes sparkled when I told them the story. And because in the anime, you see him, Natsume basically tell Tanuma and Taki about the stonewasher, when in the manga you don't really see, you don't physically see them. And because like at first I was kind of pissed. I was like, why the fuck are they here? They aren't in this manga chapter. But like the fact that the manga mentions them, it doesn't bother me as much as as it should. But the fact that it's mentioned like after, they show up before the stuff with Miyako Sensei and Natsume, that kind of bothers me because they're mentioned after. But anyway, yeah, I'm curious if you nerdigans what you nerdigans thought about them expanding that. Like, it kind of doesn't bother me as much because of adding a little bit more content. But I'm curious what you nerdigans thought about that as well. So instead, like, yes, I know you nerdigans are going to tell me, yes, we hear about the stonewashing shit a little bit more from Miyako Sensei. Yeah, I know. But another thing that skipped, and I'm getting more surprised that we're not getting, like a lot more of the inner monologues are getting skipped, because last episode there was like no inner monologue skipped. And like, I'm getting kind of annoyed that you're getting bipolar, because this is what was mentioned. This is like what the inner monologue really was. It's a short one. It's like, an Ayakashi where? And I love the boo shit. That shit is fucking hilarious as hell. I love the look on his face too. The look on fucking Natsume's face is goddamn perfect. But the only thing though is, and is in the manga is like, it's kind of backwards. Like, the Ayakashi is supposed, maybe like I'm just fucking stupid, but and being anal about it, but the Ayakashi is on the right side and Natsume's on the left. I think I'm just being anal now, but I'm curious if that bothered you at all. But just in case I didn't express it clearly enough, I kind of am annoyed that they didn't, you know, do the full explanation of the training and stuff when they were supposed to earlier on. And I just don't like how they're doing this. It's kind of annoying because they did the full explanation of the Stonewashers, or like the abridged, I guess, version of it, really, when Natsume explained it to Taki and Tanuma, and I'm just like thinking, wait, why not just do at least the full explanation, including the Eden, and then do like an abridged explanation to Taki and Tanuma? Like, that would just make more sense. And the Stonewasher in the anime said scared you? Like, no! Okay, this is when a word change is gonna bother me. Like, he says surprise in the manga, and like, when he says scare you, like, that sounds fucking stupid. Am I the only one that thinks that's goddamn stupid? Like, if you say boo, at least, like, if you're gonna try and scare him, like, that's fucking stupid. And yes, I'm glad Natsume punched him in the fucking face. He deserved it. Okay, I gotta mention this. The look on Natsume and Miyako Sensei's face when they realized that Natsume punched the Stonewasher was fucking perfect. Like, oh, the one thing I love about this anime is that it knows how to do the comedy, especially with the facial expressions. It's like perfect with comedy. And I wish more anime would fucking get with the program. I gotta say, when Natsume is dreaming, and right before he falls asleep, and is thinking about why he took the Stonewasher's request, like, we don't get to, there's like no illustrations at all. The way that the studio animated it, and like how Natsume was relating to Nanamaki, the animation was so beautiful and eerie, and like hearing you also heard the cry, and like hearing the crying, and hearing Nanamaki saying help me, and shit. Oh my god, that was so creepy. But I gotta say, like, I would say starting at like the 6-minute and 30-second mark, that's when this episode becomes perfect. I mean, don't get me wrong, the first 3 minutes, like, when, you know, like, up until, like, the fishing, you know, after the fishing stuff is good, and, like, you know, when we get to, it's just up until we get to, back to, Natsume's, house. When we get back to Natsume's house, that's when it kind of gets a little meh, but after that, when we, meet, the Stonewasher, when we meet the Stonewasher it is, this anime, or I should say this episode, brings this chapter to life, and it is beautiful. It makes, I would say, like, I like this episode more, that I like the anime more than the manga at that point. I really do, especially when Natsume is dreaming about Nanamaki, because you get to see the visual, and it's the artistry behind it is beautiful. Because in the manga, it's just a black page, but like the way it's done in the anime, it's like you have these blacks with these whites, and it's very abstract, and it's very, very beautiful. And as I mentioned, right before that, when Natsume is thinking about it, and by the way, I love that we got to see Nyanko-san with the hearts in his eyes when it came to the fried shrimp, and him drawing his little fried shrimp. I like that we got to see that. I almost forgot about that. But I love when we see what Natsume is really thinking animated about what shit. I'm just like trailing off here. Just give me a second. What he really like visually is thinking about Nanamaki, because you don't really see it in the manga. It's most of it is black. Most of the panels are black, so it really makes me like the anime a little bit more than the manga chapter. And that's saying a lot for me. The expressions, man. This anime knows how to fucking do expressions. It matches the manga perfectly, the facial expressions. And I love when the mid-ranks are like talking about that Natsume would consider it a double favor, so everybody's really into it. Like the background when it's being mentioned, that like those blues and greens, it is beautiful. That art is just those colors are beautiful, because like in the manga, you're kind of limited, and it's just like black with a little bit of white. But I loved how the animators did that. That was nice art, guys. Good stuff. I'm very, very happy with that. Something that's not in the manga is the count off to get the fuck out of the house, to just like get going. I kind of like that. I really do. They're just like counting, and I'm just cracking my freaking ass off. I'm like, oh my god, this anime just makes me laugh. I fucking love it. It's making me laugh as much as the manga, and that is a good thing. Something that was skipped, and I noticed this like earlier on in the chapter or in the anime as well, like the little extra thing, dialogue and this is after Mizuzu 2, after the trophy, and even Mizuzu 2, was when Natsume said, "Did you search too?" That was skipped as well. Something was skipped and something was added. So, and I kind of liked what was added, but this was after was mentioned about like I said, at the bedrocks beneath the woods around Uratani, and Natsume said Uratani, and this line was skipped as well. He was sealed over there, and Natsume said, "It's a bit far from here. Will you take me will you take me along, Nyanko Sensei?" What? And Nyanko Sensei in the anime said, "What? Why me?" And I kind of like that more than just the what, because it's just totally Nyanko Sensei. And this was kind of cut too. This was cut from the anime from Natsume, and I kind of wish it was still there. If not, I'll run there. Why was that cut? I do not know. Well, this was kind of skipped too, and I don't understand why. After Natsume put the stonewasher on his back, he said, "Can someone lead the way to Uratani?" And then we got, "I will. It's this way. That's helpful." But I love how the dog circle is just like skipping and having fun. I kind of like that. That's really adorable. Because in the manga, well, they're running, and I think this was wait. Oh, no, this was skipped as well. My disciple's name is Azuma. And then you get to see the this way, the Inu no Kai is passing through. I love that they did this. I love that they included or aka the dog circle skipping. I love it. I love seeing this shit animated. And you have to wonder if they're drunk on sake or not. And they probably are. Scratch that. My student's name is Azuma is there. It was just after the frolicking in the woods line was basically mentioned. It was just in the wrong order. But, like, I kind of don't mind it being out of order. It's, like, it's just that I just have such a high standard for this anime. It's just, like, you know, the little things I kind of have to mention if it's out of order or not. You know what I mean? Okay, I gotta mention this, though. So this, I don't know what your Nerdigan's translation of the anime says, but mine said that the Stonewasher hurt his leg. In the manga, it says he hurt his foot. I kind of am leaning towards the foot when he fell down in the riverbed. I just think that's kind of weird that it says it's his leg. Let me know what your translation said, if it said leg or foot. Mine said leg, manga says foot. I'm going with the manga translation because that makes more sense to me. There's some dialogue cuts, like minor lines, like, where is it? Oh shit. Like, Natsume says, maybe we can move the stone aside. And let's see. I think that's the main thing. Oh, and, I kind of want to mention that, he said, this was there, like, also, look, there's a small gap. It might be a trace from something, from when something wanted to get out, but she didn't say from below, which is kind of an important detail. I gotta say, seeing the Stonewasher paint and seeing it come alive with the light and the music to boot is so beautiful. And this is why I look forward to this anime every week. I find myself looking forward to this anime every week. And I wish there was more anime like Natsume and the Book of Friends. I really do. Yes, My Hero Academia is definitely another one that I look forward to every week. I'm not gonna lie. My Hero Academia is definitely one that I look forward to every week for that reason as well. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, Natsume and the Book of Friends is definitely, I think, besides My Hero Academia, this is my favorite anime for this season. I fucking love this anime so much. I gotta say, when I got that scene with Azuma, when he reunited with the Stonewasher, I'm not gonna lie, I was crying. The feels, man. It was like when I was doing my review and watching Fukumeki Noise, I was crying when Yuzu is cheering up Nino. Yeah, that scene at the end with Azuma and the frickin' Stonewasher. Oh my god, the feels. Oh my god. This anime, I gotta say, again, this anime is definitely is probably my favorite with My Hero Academia. I hands down, I fucking love this anime. This anime is amazing. It is. Yes, there were some minor issues that I had problems with within, like, maybe especially within the first 6 minutes of it. Or, I would say between the 3 and 6 minute and 30 second mark, especially. But after that, that's when this anime, like, after that 6 minute and 30 or 45 second mark, that's when this anime really, or this episode for this chapter really came alive, especially when we saw the flowers. Oh my god, this was beautiful. What did you Nerdigans think of this episode? Are you in love with this series like I am? I fucking love this series, and if they keep this up, like, I'm gonna start loving the anime. The anime is up there with the manga. Like, I'm starting to love it just as much as the manga. It's close. But there's some parts of the anime that I love more than the manga. Like, as I mentioned, when there's those all black panels that the anime used to its advantage and got really creative with it. I thought that was beautiful. I loved it, and I loved what they did with the STONEWASHER'S paintings. That's when I really love anime. I really love it. There's just sometimes when I don't like, there's just little things that this anime could do better. Like, if this anime was like episode 1, I would love it even more. But I gotta say, the facial expressions, if every anime could be for, especially like what's the series I'm thinking of? What's the one that, if Sugumomo's the one that really has the problem with facial expressions. If Sugumomo could be like Natsume in the Book of Friends, it would be the best fucking series. I'm telling you right now, Sugumomo has the biggest problem with facial expressions. I fucking can't stand it when it comes to facial expressions. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What you think of this series. Is this like your favorite series right now of the spring anime season? Or like, do you think that a lot like, I'm really torn between this and My Hero Academia right now. And like a little bit of me really loves Berserk. I'm loving Berserk as well. Like, those are the 3 that I'm looking forward to every week, to be quite honest. Is Natsume in the Book of Friends, Berserk, and My Hero Academia. Those are the 3 I'm always looking forward to. And, to an extent, Renai Poken. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Nerdigans Inc. If you love what I'm doing and want to contribute to the Nerdigans Inc. expansion, there's a few ways you can do that. You can donate to the Nerdigans Inc. PayPal, Patreon, or purchase something off the Nerdigans Inc. Amazon wishlist. All those links are in the description box below. Also, make sure you follow me on the Twits, aka Twitter. Follow my Twitch channel and friend me on PlayStation Network. All those links are in the description, or all that information's in the description box below as well. Until next time, Nerdigans, I'll be seeing you later. Bye!